What's up, everybody? What is up, y'all? How's everybody doing?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Good.
That's good.
Alrighty, y'all. So we're about to talk about Ruthless today. What's up to everybody in the chat? Thank everybody for coming out. Let me see who all came by. We got Miss Flowers. We got Avanta. We got Inga. Hey, girl. We got my girl Candy Love, of course. We got a Facebook user. I don't know your name. You should type your name because I'm pretty sure you're the same person. You should type your name so I can know who you are. And then let's see. That's all I see for right now, but that's all right. It looks like we got a lot of people in the chat. Y'all go ahead and, as VayCay Jay says, throw up your fire emojis, throw up some purple hearts, throw whatever emoji you want to throw up. And let's go ahead and get started, y'all. All right. So I don't have any petty debates, y'all, because it just wasn't one this episode. I felt like this was a kind of filler episode, me, myself. What did y'all think about the episode? Let's kind of rate it and get the feels. I know all things ruthless. I already know Miss Tika. I already know you on a 10. But what did you think about this episode?
Actually, this week, y'all can hear me okay, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Yeah, actually, this week, it was an 8.5 still for me. I mean, yes, it was a filler episode. Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely enjoyed the episode, but it was just filling in a lot of blanks for me. So we didn't have a whole lot of excitement or, dramatic drama going on. So it was a filler episode for me, 8.5.
That's what's up. What about you, Ruthless? Ruthless TV.
I give it a solid 8. Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Can.
Y'all hear me? Hello? Can y'all hear me?
Yep. I can hear you. You said you give it an 8, right?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. Yeah. I can't hear. I don't know. Okay. I think I'm going to have to come back in on my laptop. So.
Okay. No worries. I'll be looking out for you. All right. What about you, Lakisha? What did you think? What was your rating for this episode?
Yes, I'll give it. I would give it an 8 too. It's gonna fill in a lot of blanks for us. Just building us up, building the story up. So
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And what about you, VayCay Jay? What would you rate it?
I'll give it a good 9. Yeah. I liked it.
Okay. I'm going to see if Ruthless is going to come back in a second. I took her out. She haven't popped back in yet. Okay. No worries. Okay. Yeah, I give it about an 8.5. It was still a good episode. It's just, they were kind of like they were building up to something, but I still think that it was a wonderful episode. So, hey, we gonna rock with it. It wasn't like, that first one where we was figuring when everything just came crashing back in. So it was cool.
Yeah.
Am I doing that thing? Can y'all hear me? I don't know. I think StreamYard is being
we
a
can
little
hear
bit
you. But there's some feedback coming from somewhere. I guess we should mute ourselves until you call on us.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I heard the feedback too. That's what I was trying to see. Okay, no worries. So let me see if Ruthless came back in. Nah, she still hasn't came back in yet. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and talk about the very first opening scene. I actually have let me pull it up.
Yeah, he was. Okay. I need to ask you a very important question.
Scene, y'all. I put the wrong one. Hold on. That's not the opening scene. Okay, it's actually this one. I got my stuff
We're really
out of order.
friendly in these parts.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's just right up the road. I can bring you one when I come back this way if you're still here.
Trust me, when you get back, officer, I will not be here, okay?
Okay, y'all. So that was the opening scene. So y'all know when the episode started, when it ended on last week, we ended with Officer Kate, bless her heart, she actually she stopped Andrew. Andrew has these bodies in the back of the car, and she stops him. She pulls him over, and Andrew is trying to figure out what in the world he needs to do. We're going to talk about that scene, but I think in order to talk about that scene, I think we should bring up a special guest, and they should actually break this scene down for us and tell us what they think about this entire scene. So let me go ahead and introduce Miss Hillary. Bring her up. How are you, Hillary?
Hi. I'm
Hey.
wonderful. Hi.
Wow, what a surprise.
We just popped you up. Okay, so I just played the scene, right? And so, of course, your character. So for everybody in the chat who doesn't know, this is Officer Kate. She plays Officer Kate. And Officer Kate seems to not always know what's going on, but she is slowly about to figure out what's going on at the Rakadushi camp. So can you kind of break that scene down for us and tell us all about, just give us your interpretation of how everything went down when you're pulling up on Andrew?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think from Kate's perspective, she's trying real hard to do her job based upon her education, understanding. So she sees something she believes to be suspicious, isn't trying to be cool about it, and not letting that up, but still doesn't know quite what's going on and isn't putting all the pieces together. But yeah, it was a fantastic time to, sit there with Blue and ask those questions over and over and over and over again and not get what I want. But yeah, I think that's kind of what was going on and what we were working towards when we did that scene.
Awesome. Let me bring Ruthless TV back in, y'all. Okay, here you go. Hey, Ruthless, can you hear me now? Okay, awesome. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So, you know what? I only have one question. How does it feel working on Ruthless? Like, how does it feel working on this show? Like, because this show is an interesting show in itself. So you get to be right there in the middle of everything. So what is your feedback on the show? Like, how do you feel actually having to deal with all of the craziness of the Raku camp? How's it been?
Well, I will say, as you guys know, there's so much going on in this awesome, crazy, wonderful story. So our interactions were really secluded, and it was so fast and so quick. It was just a whirlwind, specifically for me to kind of jump in. I'm sure you guys have been shared this before, as far as how quickly the wonderful, amazing Tyler Perry works on these. So you're shooting several episodes, skipping from scene to scene to episode within minutes. So it's a lot to kind of take in and jump on, and it's exhilarating and fun as an actor to just play. But it's a lot. It was a little nerve-wracking for me because I had kind of been on an extended pause with COVID and being a mom. And so to jump right back into that, I was like, okay, we're going full force here. Here we go. Let's do it. But I had a fantastic time, and it was wonderful.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the baby. That's nice. That's great.
He's not a baby anymore. He just turned 5, which he's very proud of, but he'll always be my baby. Yeah, but at that time it was definitely like, oh wow, we're in the throes of toddlerhood and all of that.
Okay, great. All right, good. Well, hey, we want to treat you like we're all part of the Ruthless family. So we want to treat you just like you're part of the family. And we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about the show, and we want to get your input on what you think. Is that cool?
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Did anybody else have any questions before we move on to the next part?
I did have one question.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm Tika Deshawn, All Things Ruthless. Thank you so much for being here with us, first of all.
Thanks for reaching out.
Absolutely. So with that being said, I know you're married, you got your family, your mom and all that, but how gentle was Blue Kimball, Andrew, when he decided he was going to choke you out? Like, how gentle was he?
I will totally give it up to Blue. He was like we had worked on that a little bit, and he was helping, like, okay, here, I'm going to do this and pull here. Are you comfortable with that? Are you good? He was really, truly gentle as a scene partner, and he was just kind and giving in that. So, you know, he made that fall a lot easier. Getting pulled out of that car a lot easier.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's not rough to, like, you know, fall into Blue's arms, but, you know, I could act like struggle really hard in that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know that's
okay.
right. All right, y'all. So we're going to jump into our first part, which is truth or cap. And this is just basically where you tell me if you think this is the truth or if you think that it is cap. So in the very beginning, we talked about George last time, right? George took the blame for Daikon, basically. So do you guys think that was truth, or do you think that was cap? George took the blame because he says he respects Daikon as a leader. We're going to start with you, Tika. Can you
I absolutely believe that was cap. That was a whole big old lie. There's something behind why George decided or was so willing to stand up for Daikon. So absolutely cap. Lies.
I think so too. What do you think, VayCay Jay?
First, I want to say hello. Hey, Hillary. Hey, Deputy Kate. Good to see you. Thanks for coming to the round table, hanging out with us. Yeah, definitely that was cap. Like, there's something going on behind that. Like, again, we talked about it last week. You know how Tyler Perry does it. Like, either he has feelings for Daikon that we don't know about, and he's just taking up for him just to kind of like get in with Daikon. So it's like, okay, you know, I've been trying to get close to you, Daikon. Or there's just something else behind it. You know what I'm saying? So you know how Tyler Perry writes it. It's going to be something scandalous. That's what we want to see.
Okay, exactly. What about you, Ruthless? What did you think about it? Think it's truth or cap?
I think it's cap. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Yeah, I think it's cap for sure. I just have a question though. Like, where was he when Daikon said it was on the chopping block? Where was he when his wrist got slit by the highest? So, you know, he should have taken up for Daikon a number of other times, you know, just standing up. And I don't know. I'm just gonna wait to see what type of punishment he's gonna get. I think it's just a boatload of crap, and I think that he has an ulterior motive for sure.
Okay. And Hillary, what about you? What do you think? Do you think it was truth, or do you think it was cap?
Am I allowed to say something? No. Let's go with just a different opinion of he was really living his truth right there. I mean, how fun would that be is if the direction was steered a different way.
Got you. And what about you, Miss Lakisha?
Yes, I think that is all cap because it was him and Lewis in the beginning were questioning whether the Raku was even real. And I just think that, you know, he's trying to get close to Daikon to climb the ladder, per se, you know.
I certainly think it's cap. Scarlett said that she thinks he's an agent, in my opinion. Who knows? At this point, we got a bunch of agents out at the Raku, so possibly so. All right, guys. So the next one is going to be that the highest will consider accepting Aaron as a Raku member. Do y'all think that he really is considering this, or do you think he has something bigger planned? Or do you think he has something else planned for Aaron? What do you think, Lakisha? We can't hear you. Can you hear me, Lakisha?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
No, I was just saying the highest says he's going to consider accepting Aaron as a Raku member. Do you think that's the truth, or do you think that's cap? Or do you think he has something else planned for Aaron, like he's done with him?
I just think that I think he will hold on to Aaron a little bit longer. But I think that there's a reason why Aaron ended up in that freezer in the first place. Because Aaron has an agenda to get his wife and get out of there. But the highest is not really in on it yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I feel you. What about you, VayCay?
Is the highest considering Aaron a member? I don't think so. I really think that he plans on keeping Laura, absolutely. But as far as him, like he has his suspicions. So he doesn't want him to be too close. But if he wants to come back into the campus, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna put you in a punishment trailer and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Tika?
The highest is always, and I continue to say this, the highest is always on some mind game type stuff. So he's literally toying with Aaron as if he's a little puppy. He's literally toying with him. So he absolutely has no real intentions of allowing Aaron back onto the Rakadushi compound as a member. And if he does, he's going to have to literally break him in order to get him to comply with the Rakadushi standards.
I think she went out. Can you hear me, Tika? I think you went out.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right. What about you, Ruthless? What did you think?
I think that he's gonna accept him, but he has to behave. Aaron is on his worst behavior. He's in love with his wife for sure, and he's just lost right now. He doesn't know what to do. But I think it's gonna accept him. I mean, he doesn't have a choice because nobody leaves that compound alive. Nobody leaves the compound the same way they came in. So if he lets him go, which he has, I mean, he's still outside the gate. He still has his phone. So he's not too big of a threat. So I think he's going to let him come in, but under some certain conditions.
All right. Gotcha. Okay, Miss Hillary, now without giving us anything, because I know you probably know some things. So without giving us anything, what do you think about, Aaron? What do you think about Aaron and, his character in general? Just talk about that.
I think, oh gosh, it's a really fun character. I think that there's a difficult situation that he's been put in, and I for sure think that the highest isn't going to allow an easy return if he allows it at all.
Gotcha. Same exact way. Like,
you guys can't put me on the spot like that because I'm like, oh no, what can I say? What can I not say?
I just thought about it. I was like, oh, you probably know everything that's going to happen.
You're doing well. You're doing well.
Everything you say.
Yeah, you're doing well. We're kind of reading between the lines that you're trying to hold back some things. So we appreciate you.
You're doing great. Thank you so much for being here. We really, really do appreciate it. So let me go to the next one, y'all. So I think this one, hands down, I think I kind of just threw it in here, but Manny is going to be forever indebted to Ruth. At this point, we noticed that when she comes to usually he's like, no, you can't come in. She comes in now and she's just like, look, are we really doing this? I think he's going to owe her throughout the duration of however long they're going to be at the Raku camp at this point. What do y'all think about this newfound relationship between Manny and Ruth? Tika, start with you.
Ruth is definitely going to have to use Manny to get what she wants, and she is in the position right now to get what she wants from Manny. So he's definitely forever in debt because there's no way that he can not allow her to do something considering everything that she knows about him. So yes, he's absolutely forever and ever in debt. Even in debt in the Raku, he's in debt to Ruth.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. What about you, VayCay?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the man is scared of needles. So when Ruth had to give him, and excuse me, Hillary, I'm very direct to the point. So when Ruth had to give him a booty shot before Daikon, caught him, she went all out to give him the painkillers and everything, So yes, he is indebted to Ruth. Absolutely.
I'm still here, guys. My thing was doing something funny. Yeah, for sure. What about you, Ruthless? What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's in debt to her for sure, but his first loyalty goes to the raccoon. I think he's going to be loyal to a certain extent because he actually believes, that the raccoon is his savior first and then Ruth. So, yeah, he's definitely indebted to her, but only to a certain extent.
Yeah. So you think there's going to come a point where he's going to be like,
Yeah, absolutely, because they're just putting too much sauce on it, I mean, I'm sure she's going to use Manny to her advantage as well, as much as she can. But when it comes between, if he had a choice, I think he would definitely choose the raccoon over Ruth any day because he's afraid of the raccoon. Remember, he's afraid of him. So yeah,
very much afraid of him. Okay, Miss Hillary. So I'm gonna ask you this instead. So what do you think about the character Ruth? Ruth has been making a lot of moves, since she got to the camp. What is your overall view of this character?
Oh gosh. I think that as a viewer, she's phenomenal to watch and see how she works and how things are going to play out. She's really just, I get strong and all of that. So I think it's just awesome to see, as far as like watching that, I think it's just great to see. My particular character at this point has no relationship or working knowledge with her. So I think that would be a really interesting take to see if those two characters ever were to be in the same universe at the same time.
That would be interesting. All right, Miss Lakisha, what did you think about Manny being indebted to Ruth?
I think Manny thinks that Ruth is the MVP right now because he was in some serious pain, and who else was going to bring him around but her? She was the only one that had access to it, and I think that he is going to end up using this newfound relationship to get what he wants, and so is she.
Yeah, definitely. I can see
but
that.
I still would trust that I would keep one eye open because we're talking about Manny here.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Talking about Manny here.
Okay, yeah. So last one, Joan and Laura are working together to get this money. This has been a constant theme inside of the River. Thinks it. Ruth has always thought it. So my question to you guys is, do you actually think that this is true based on all the events that have happened? Do you think that is true, Tika?
It's looking real suspicious, you guys. I don't trust Joan, and that's my girl. Like, I literally got Joan on my shirt right now, but I cannot trust her right now. She's moving totally different than when we saw her in the beginning in regards to now she has another ally. So in actuality, she doesn't need Ruth, nor does she need River. So I think some kind of way those two are absolutely working together.
Gotcha. I think it's possible too. Me, myself, I think it's definitely a possibility, especially, I don't know, Joan just really, she changes up so much that I can never tell which side she's actually on. Who do you think? What do you think, VayCay Jay?
Yeah, Joan, she goes back and forth all the time. She acts like she's down with the Raku, and then she has her little conversation, a little banter back and forth with Ruth. Like, I think it's hilarious how Ruth is just like, what do you want, Joan? Like, leave me alone. Like, why are you bothering me? Just get the money. Let's get out of here. So Joan, she goes back and forth. She knows how to play the game. I'll say it like that. She really knows how to play the game when it's time to play. And then when it's time to get the money, hopefully she'll come through. But we already know Ruth and River already have their other plan to get away with the money. So we'll see what happens with Joan.
For sure. What do you think, Ruthless?
This is a loaded question because I've done so many videos on Joan. She flips flop like a fish out of water. She doesn't know what she wants. And she has had like the biggest character shift for me And I think that she needs to get another partner in crime, because right now Laura is seeing birds and everything, monkeys, and I don't think she's capable of stealing money at all. So I really think that she needs to get another partner in crime. And she doesn't need Joan. Not Joan. She doesn't need Ruth. She doesn't need River. You know, she has all the information. She's got access to the bank accounts. She's got the computer. She's got everything. She has everything she needs. And all she has to do is just transfer the money and leave. You know, there are so many things that she can do on her own, but I don't think that they're working together at all.
Okay, cool. Lakisha, did you think that they were working together? I can't remember if I asked you, so I'm trying to make sure.
No, you didn't. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to take Joan at this point. She's very wishy-washy. 1 minute she's on their side, and then the next minute she doesn't want to talk. She doesn't want to talk to them. So I think yeah, she is. I really believe that Joan is could be an FBI agent. She's so smart. She knows how to count that money. She knows that place in and out. She knows how the highest works. She knows how to play the game very well. So I will watch her very closely. But are her and Laura working together? I don't know. They could be. Because at this point, Aaron is even questioning his own wife whether she wants money. So.
Yeah, for sure.
So I have a question for you guys, if I can do that.
Yes, please.
Everybody is suspicious of everyone. Is there anybody on the show that you trust, that you think they are who they say they are?
I trust Deputy Kate.
Right answer.
No, seriously, I do trust Deputy Kate.
Like seriously, like Deputy Kate is probably the only person who doesn't have an agenda. She doesn't have anything that that she's trying to accomplish. You know, she's not taking money from anybody. I mean, who else is there to trust? Nobody else is trustworthy.
Well, I guess we'll just have
Daikon.
But because we are watching Tyler Perry Ruthless, it's always the innocent ones that we do trust that turn out to be part of the Raku. Now, I know you can't tell us everything, but I can tell, just looking in your eyes, I can tell there's something you want to tell us, but I know you can't tell us.
I do look good in purple, just
you do?
putting that out there. No, kidding. Totally.
I was just going to say, you probably have a purple rose stashed away somewhere. That's crazy.
I mean, maybe. I don't, you guys we're family. You're invited to come over to raid my closet to see.
Okay.
Nice. Ruthless, did you answer her question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Daikon is the only one that doesn't really have an ulterior motive. He's been true to the end. He was willing to get his whole head chopped off. Everybody else kind of, even Zane has an ulterior motive at this point, but Daikon has been the more consistent one, I think, throughout the entire 4 seasons. He's definitely loyal to the highest, except when it comes to Ruth, of course. But, what woman, she's contributing to their downfall for sure, just like Laura is to Aaron. So, but Daikon is the more consistent one to me, and I would trust him before anybody else.
Nice. I like Daikon. I just don't know if I trust him, but I do like him. I like Daikon. What about you, Lakisha?
Is he loyal? Yes, I think Daikon is the most loyal to the end. Because if somebody take you to a chopping block and they're gonna cut your head off, and you get to that point, and all you do is you get up and cry, and you just keep on going like nothing just happened, like this man wasn't really just going to chop your head off, and you just keep going like nothing happened. Like, yeah, he is the most loyal. I think he's 10 toes down.
Yeah. Did anybody else have any questions for Hillary, aka Officer Kate? Or did you have any other questions for us? Because you do have the infamous, the what did you call yourself, Tika? the biggest
ultimate ruthless addict.
Ultimate. I'm sorry. I knew I couldn't be that word. Ruthless addict. So do you have any other questions for us?
I don't. If you guys have any other questions for me, I'm happy to answer it as much as I can.
I do have one question. So this is Ruthless, one of the craziest shows that anybody could ever put out in their lifetime.
Sure.
How did you feel, or what was your reaction to, they say, okay, you have the role, but then you have to read up on what this show is about. What was your reaction?
So I have an interesting story as far as how I got involved with the show. I had actually auditioned for a different role in 2019 and was cast, but the dates changed and wasn't able to accommodate the date change because I had another commitment. And so a year, 2 years later, they called me and they're like, hey, do you want to come back for a different role? I was like, absolutely. But this is before anything is aired. So as an actor jumping into it, while they have a season in the can, it takes maybe a year and some change before the audience actually sees it. So I was jumping in, not having all the scripts, not knowing anything. And I distinctly remember last season, I'm shooting my scenes with Brian, and he's like, do you know what's going on? I was like, I really don't. And he's like, okay, well, so I was like naked for the first half of the season. I was like, oh, okay, so that's this kind of show right now. So luckily my character didn't come encounter with any of that, because I think me as a person, I would have been like, oh gosh, naked people probably would have thrown me off. But it's interesting because you were limited to the amount of information that you provided as an actor. So a lot of it coming together and thrown into it is just leaning on your scene partner and working with them when you've got a minute here or there, and kind of figuring out that rhythm, what works, and obviously trusting Tyler Perry and his vision just to make sure everything works together and is cohesive. I hope that answered your question.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have
did you have any questions? Okay, there you go. Go ahead.
I have a quick question. Okay, so we're up to season 4, episode number 6. So far, who was the last character to wear a prosthetic?
Yeah, I don't know. Should I know that? Was it me? I was like, I don't know. Is it me? Did I do it? Yeah, I don't know.
Wild.
Fair enough.
I got a question. No
Go for it.
prosthetics involved. Okay, no prosthetics involved. So, would Hillary, as she's driving down the road, she sees this man with a flat tire, and it looks suspicious. Would Hillary stop and try to help him with his flat tire?
I have never changed a tire in my life, so I don't know how much help I would be, but I can tell you I have pulled over and helped people to make sure that they have a cell phone to call for help, but changing tires is not my forte.
Got you. Okay, and you wouldn't let him use your phone?
Oh yeah, sure. But I am strong. I don't even remember what the line was. I'm a strong woman. Don't underestimate me. So
right.
I have a cell phone. I can help out that way.
Got you. Okay, but if they don't open the trunk, I'm sure you're like, okay, I need to leave.
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. I don't know anybody that would be like, oh, you're not opening the trunk? Let me just stay around and ask you 20 more questions.
Right.
Anybody but Kate. Yeah.
Perfect.
All righty. Well, Hillary, it has been a pleasure having you here with us. I know you have to go. And once again, thank you for coming out and speaking with us. And we wish you nothing but the best and much success on the show. We will definitely be watching. So thank you. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you all. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Good night.
That was cool.
That was awesome.
Officer Kate.
Yeah, never know who's coming to the
drop your
round
fire
table.
emojis below. Drop your fire emojis. That was fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
All right, guys. So let me go ahead and bring up the next parts. All right. So we are going to go. I have some clips, y'all, and we're just going to talk about the remainder of the episode. Let me find my clips here. Okay, so yeah, there was this one part. Well, you know what? Before I bring that up, let me go ahead and do this first. Let's talk about Malcolm.
This is what you do. What's that? I need people to die. I came to make a deal with you. I know Andrew's weakness.
Okay, y'all. Oh, your boy Malcolm. I don't know what we can say about Malcolm at this point. He's still trying to give away some information that we still don't know what the information is that he has. What do y'all think about Malcolm just as a whole? Because I don't even know what he's doing anymore. Tika, you go ahead and start with your boy Malcolm.
Malcolm, he has no idea what else is going on the compound because he's been confined to that charge trailer. He doesn't know that Andrew is already off of the Rakadushi compound. And not only that, he is fiending. He is coming down off of all of those drugs in his system. So what else can he do but attempt to bargain with Daikon, who, as we already know, there's no bargaining with Daikon. So, I mean, I'm low-key feeling real bad for Malcolm. Y'all just keep watching. I hate to say this. Just keep watching with Malcolm. That's all I'm going to say.
No. Okay. Let's see. What do you think, Lakisha?
Yeah, I'm proud of Malcolm. He's hanging in there, man. He's that cat with 9 lives. He's still ticking, trying to bargain with Daikon, and it ain't working. I could tell you about the whole investigation. And Daikon is you already told us everything we already know. But I'll give it up to him. He's still hanging in there, boy. I feel bad for him though.
I don't because
I don't.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I just said I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that he might could have made it out had he have not, told who Andrew was. He might have had a chance, but
Right.
That was all his fault. What did you think, Ruthless, of Malcolm in this episode?
Yeah, his snitching turned the entire season on its head. He's a full drug addict. Like when we first saw him and Lynn in that hotel room, like I just thought they were having a good time, just an occasional bump or two here and there, but he is really fiending. He's going through it. The withdrawals, I mean, it's like from one extreme to the other. So he's there. And you can't trust him for sure because he went full informant, on Brian and Andrew when they were in the punishment trailer. So he'll turn his back on you in a heartbeat. So he's a loose cannon at this point. Really can't detect, which way he's gonna swing.
Mm-hmm, exactly. What do you think, Jay?
I do not feel bad for Malcolm. Okay. Malcolm has slept. Shout out to Scarlet Damsel. Made a great point. How you feel bad for a man that slept with everybody's wife? Okay. Sold out everybody, trying to make deals with the Raku, selling out Andrew, selling out the FBI. Like, come on. Like, it's almost that time, right? It's almost coming down to the wire. Now, I think definitely he's going to be electrocuted, right? We've seen that in the clip. He's definitely going to be electrocuted. Now, how far is he going to get into the Raku? That we don't know. But, yeah, it looks like it's coming down to the wire where Malcolm is about to lose his 9 lives. That's what I'm going to say. But I don't feel bad for him. Nah, this is what he deserves to get.
Yeah, he definitely deserves this for sure. All right, y'all, let's move to the next one. Let's see what time it is. All right. Okay, so this one right here was when the highest comes out in his suit and he's ready to go. I want to see what y'all thought about this scene.
You look handsome. Yes, he does.
Did you know he had a cell phone?
He what?
Yes.
Oh, no. Your highest?
Do you think he'll try and get help? Well, time will tell.
Okay, y'all. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I thought. I thought that the highest threw so much shade at Ruth without throwing shade at all. I don't know what it was, but his energy that he was feeding off of with her was ridiculous. What did you think about this scene, Ruthless?
Yeah, he was definitely being sarcastic at some points. I think they were all playing dress up. You know, what's her name? Joan was giving him so many compliments, and you know, Ruth was a little jealous. You know, she was like, "Yes, he does," and you know, it's just really, it's nice to see them fully clothed and looking like decent human beings. You know, this scene was very telling, though, and I'm gonna save some of my comment for the video, but it was very telling. But you know, it was okay. But yeah, he was definitely throwing shade, or he was throwing some hints, you know, as if he knew something that he shouldn't have known, and she knew, and it was a little awkward for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. What about you, Tika? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Joan was absolutely going into overkill with the compliments. I don't know if it was just her attempt at making Ruth jealous, but she also had to cover up the fact that she and Ruth were talking about that plot of how much money they're going to take and all of that stuff. So I feel like that was just a cover up. And of course, yes, the highest is shady, throwing shots at poor Aaron outside of the Rakadushi gates. You know, yeah, he had a cell phone. Okay, your highest. Like, okay, you look good in your suit. Whatever. I'm over the highest right now. You know, I just feel bad for Aaron. So I have nothing good to say about the highest at this point.
You said you feel bad for Aaron. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, it was it was the fakest moment out of this whole episode. Did you know he had a cell phone? Oh no. It was so, you could tell they was just playing along with each other. And you know, he knows what he said after, which I think you cut off, was, you know, a man in love, he'll do anything. So the highest already has in his mind, like, I'm gonna play with this guy until he either gives up or I'm gonna figure out what to do with him next. So I thought it was like the super fake moment in time. Joan, like I said before, she really knows how to play to the highest until she gets the money and gets what she wants out of this deal. So we're going to see what happens with that.
Exactly. All right. So, Lakisha, I'm going to show you this clip, and then we're going to start with you on this
Joan
one.
told me.
Okay.
Did she? Yes. I've never felt breath in my body like this. It's beating so fast. I'll take your word for it.
Sorry.
One of my new
Listen, sorry, Jay, I couldn't, you know, show everything, you know, the parts you like, but
oh no, I got it. I saw it. We're good.
What did you think about this? Ruth, you know, makes her way in to go see Laura to find out what's going on. And what did you think about this scene just in general?
Well, she is Laura definitely got what she wanted at this point. She wanted to be a part of the Raku. She is definitely a part of the Raku. And you know, Ruth is not going to get at this point right now. She's not going to get what she wants from Laura, because Laura is lost in the sauce right now. So she don't know whether she's going or coming. She is definitely, she's 10 toes down with the Raku right now because of that powder. That powder got her gone. So whatever Ruth is looking for from Laura, she's not going to get it.
Exactly. No, completely. Jay, question: what do you think Ruth? What do you think her motive was?
You know, she Ruth again plays chess, right? So she doesn't really know what's going on with Laura. She has suspicions because, again, she's putting the pieces together. All of a sudden, Aaron's outside. She didn't know about that until she, you know, saw what was going on. So now it's like, let me find out what the highest has done. And you already know. Now just put it in the comments. She's doing the best that she can to stay in position with whatever power that she thinks she has. So she wants to find out all this information so she can stay in position with the highest the best way she can.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Okay, Ruthless, I'm gonna play another scene and then I want you to talk about this one. Give me one second.
I told her Lacey is alive.
You think that was wise?
I do. She was falling apart.
Okay, so talk to us about the fact that Ruth decided to tell Zane. What do you think about that? Do you think that was a smart idea? Like, what do you think just about that whole thing in general?
I'm kind of torn on this one because, I feel that, the human part of Ruth, her heart got in the way, and she was like, this girl is falling apart. She misses her friends. Everybody's dying. She was, cracking up. So she said, okay, well, let me bring a sense of normalcy to her and let her know that Lacey's still alive, just to kind of bring her back to reality, so to speak. But she has to realize too that Zane is not all the way there yet. She's not able to handle that sort of news because her mind is still fragile, right? So I think that, it's kind of bittersweet. I'm glad that she told her. I wouldn't have given her that key for sure. But yeah, that's kind of like a two-headed sword for me. I think that, her heart had to tell her that she was alive, but then, it may not have been the best decision because her mind is still fragile and she probably just can't handle that right now.
Gotcha. Yeah. So Tika, kind of piggybacking off of that, there was a moment when Ruth is talking to Zane, and Zane tells her, surprise, I'm really not crazy. I'm just pretending. Is truth or cap on that? Do you think she really is, insane, Zane, or do you think she's pretending?
Zane, I feel like Zane is playing the game. She was trying to survive. She may be a little thrown off, but she's really doing more to survive the entire situation. Because look how easy it was for her to go and just say to Ruth, "Hey, I was just playing around with you guys. I had you and Rivers afraid." So she knows what she's doing, and that brings us back to the moment where she asked Elder Mother Marva what was in the food. So Zane knows exactly what she's doing. And in regards of Ruth telling her about Lacey still being alive, it was too soon. Yes, Zane is not all the way together. So I absolutely agree with Ruthless TV. She's not all the way together, not all the way there. So it was definitely, it was okay for her to tell her, but definitely not okay to give her that key, because now she's about to create a spiraling effect, in my opinion.
Yeah, something definitely gonna happen there. All right, so I got one more scene, guys, and then we're gonna talk about the next episode. Hold
Can
on.
I say something real quick?
Yes, please.
I want to point out the fact that I agree with what everybody's saying, but if you really look at it from another perspective, Ruth is throwing Zane off because Zane's whole focus, remember, is to please the highest. Highest, can I do this to get close to the highest?
Right.
So for her to give her the keys and say, "Hey, listen, your friend is still alive," that's another strategic chess move by Ruth to get her to now focus on Lacey and not focus on the highest. Salute.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. And that might just bring her back to her, back to life, back to reality. That song, that might just bring her back. All right, so let me play this last one. Let me see.
Yeah, he was. Okay. I need to ask you a very important question. And it's also very important that you don't tell the sheriff. Sure. This is a federal matter.
Yeah, it put the wrong scene in there. It put the whole thing in there. I had it broken up, and I can't play the whole thing because y'all know what's gonna happen. Yes. So anyway, let's start with you, Lakisha. There's a moment where he is going to tell her, she's going to show her a picture, and it's going to be a picture of Andrew. And then we're going to see Desiree get on the phone, and she's going to say that he's gone. She thinks that Andrew is, She thinks that he's been burned, basically. Like he's not, well, not really burned. I don't think that's the word. But she thinks that he's basically with the Raku now. She doesn't think that he's in his right mind. Do you think she's right? I mean, because I think we've had this conversation before. Is Andrew really with the Raku, or is he playing a game?
No, I still don't think that Andrew is with the Raku. I think Andrew is the smartest one of them all. And he knows how to play them. He knows how to get what he wants. He knows how to talk. He knows how to talk them down. He knows how to make them feel comfortable with with his next move. And so he's very strategic. And no, I don't believe he's with the Raku. I just believe he's really, really smart.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else got any opinions about Andrew at this point? Do we think Andrew is still just playing the game, or
Yeah, Andrew, he's in survival mode. Okay,
Yeah.
Ryan's gone. Malcolm's gone because once they took him out of punishment trailer, took him to the electric chair. He doesn't know what's going on with him at this point. So Andrew, since day one, is in survival mode. So he'll play the game to let us think and let them think they're down with the Raku. I think he's still got a sane mind. I think he's still there. I don't think he's flipped. I think he's just playing the game so they don't kill him or unalive him. Excuse me, unalive him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the same thing. Ruthless, what you think?
Yeah, he's definitely in survivor mode. He knows his goal. He knows exactly why he's there, and he has to play both ends against the middle. You know, he is trying to get out of there alive. He wants the children to get out alive. So he has to be very careful as to what he's doing. I mean, he's sacrificed a lot, a whole lot. And I think that in order for him to be successful in getting the children and saving as many lives as possible so that no other lives are lost, this is what he has to do. You know, it's unfortunately, but this is what he has to do. And I think that he does have his cohorts fooled. They think that he's all in because they haven't heard from him. You know, he's moving dead bodies all over the place. And, you know, it's just gotten crazy. But I think in his heart of hearts, he has not. Because every time, if you notice, when they leave the trailer, he's very disappointed with himself. So, yeah, I don't think he's been converted at all.
Okay. And then I have a follow-up question for you. And this was at the very ending of the episode. Ruth walks into the children's trailer. And when she walks into the children's trailer, she basically finds, I didn't see any children in the there. So what do you think is going on with that? And that's going to kind of lead us into our predictions for the next episode. What do you think is going on with the children?
I think that the children, are you asking me? I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'm asking you. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, you're fine. Okay, yeah. So I think that the children are in one of two places, either lining up to take that applesauce or getting ready to go to Mexico to be muled. But I kind of weeded out the Mexico portion because the only reason that they were doing that is so that they could get money because Lilo was paying them pennies. But, you know, now they have all the money that they need. So they may be using the children as a scare tactic to make sure that Andrew comes back on time. And, you know, they're going to have that ritual. That ritual still hasn't taken place. So they may be using the children, you know, in part of the ritual of some sort. So those are my predictions.
Gotcha. Tika, what are your predictions for the children? When she walked in there, like I said, I was like, where are the kids? I know we just saw the kids, like literally on the previous episode. Like, where are they? So what did you think?
Okay, so I actually did a video about this. Like you said, we did just see the kids. They were outside right in front, or some of the kids were right outside in front of Andrew and Daikon. You also have to remember they weren't in that trailer. I think if you can remember, Aaron told River that he heard the kids in the back by the freight trailer or in the freight trailer. So they actually, because they don't have a key to get into their trailer, could just be housed in the freight trailer. You know, Ruth
Yeah.
has that key. Not saying that that's the only key on the compound, but they could be just housed in the freight trailer and just waiting on their next fate, breakfast, school, and then whatever happens next. And just like Ruthless TV said, as far as the Mexico trip goes, that's probably out because that was one of Lilo's plans, and I don't think he ever had the opportunity to even secure that plan of them going to Mexico.
Yeah, for sure. VayCay Jay, children, and what do you think about this coming up episode? I have the synopsis up here for you guys as well, but what do you think about what are your predictions?
I think this is just like a scare type thing, tactic for all of the viewers to ask the question where the kids are. I said it in my video. I think they're out with the elder mother somewhere. It may be doing what Tika said. They're in another location. I don't think that they would unalive these kids, being that they already made threats for Andrew to come back. You know what I'm saying? So they're somewhere on the campus. They're just not in the trailer. And she was just looking, it was just her anticipation of seeing her daughter, of getting her daughter. Like it was all of that. And we all kind of expected her to see her daughter. But when we didn't, and she didn't see any kids, oh my God. But they're still there. They're still there. Absolutely.
The kiddos are safe. That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, Lakisha, what's your thoughts about the kiddos and about possibly any predictions for the next episode?
Yes, I think they just playing. They're playing my games with Ruth, scaring her about about the children. They know that the highest is away, and they know she's snooping around. They know she wanted to see her daughter, and so I think it's just a scare tactic, and the children are safe. I as far as the next episode, I always felt like Lewis and Manny were gonna eventually fall out because Lewis he is definitely not buying the Raku, and Manny is leaning more towards the Raku than anyone else. So, but I think, yeah, as far as the next episode, Ruth is thinking about getting her daughter and getting the heck out of there, and I think they're on to it. And so
you think this is a play to you think this is them moving the kids so that no one has any thoughts? I don't know.
Has any thoughts to leave? Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So does anybody else have any predictions for the next episode that we didn't get out there? The synopsis says Manny and Lewis have a difference of opinion when it comes to their belief in the Raku. I've always thought that these two would fall out. I thought that Lewis was going to give him up when Daikon came to him after he found out that he was no longer, that he was not like he was, like that he was definitely believing in the Raku. So I thought that's when it was going to happen, but it didn't. So what are y'all thoughts? Because I think my mic is doing something funny, so I need to let somebody else talk. Any thoughts on Lewis, Manny, anybody?
Yeah, Lewis and Manny were bound to. I'm sorry. Okay, Lewis and Manny were bound to collide. Simply, like you said, the difference in opinion. Lewis is not with the shenanigans. He's only there for the good, and a place to stay, a roof over his head, food to eat. And Manny has fallen in love all over again with the Raku, or he's more afraid of the Raku. So it doesn't surprise me that the two of them are going to clash, but I don't think it's going to be a point, or I'm hoping it's not a point where Lewis has to. Well, then again, he can tell on Manny, but I'm hoping it's not at the point where he has to reveal something about Manny, because if he reveals something about Manny, then he's going to be also in trouble for not reporting it.
Yep, gotcha. Go ahead, Ruthless. You were going to say something.
No, it wasn't me, but I will say that I think that on a different note that Joan is a defector. I think she's going to let the Highest know what's going on. I think that she kind of low key wants to be with the Highest as well. It's just a whole lot of going on. I think that Manny and Lewis, Manny has definitely cracked. I think that a lot of them are just going crazy. They're switching up, switching sides. They don't know what to do. Go left or right or go straight. They're confused because their time there on the compound is ticking. Like, it's very limited, and we can tell. I mean, they're the Highest love to play mental games with them as well. So I think everybody just kind of cracking up, going cuckoo, especially Manny. Like, I thought he was cool, right, at first, but now he's falling in line with on the same time that Zane is on. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. VayCay Jay, any last words, Lakisha?
Yeah. So pertaining to Manny, we got to look at it from a different perspective, right? I agree with Ruthless TV. He is cracking up, but when you think about it, while Manny, I call him scumbag Manny because of what he did to Zane. We all know that. But what happened to Manny, as far as the pencil sharpener on his little sausage, as far as elder mother, okay, doing what she did to him, and just everything that he's been going through, I think, yeah, he would crack up. He would do some crazy stuff like, oh, okay, we can have a wife. Oh, okay, I'm down with the Raku. He believes that the pencil sharpener cuts was from the Raku, telling him he shouldn't have been doing what he was doing, right?
Exactly.
So he's all in, right? He's all in with the Raku because all of this trauma that he's receiving now, which is just the repercussions and just the karma of what he did to Zane coming back at him. Of course, he's like all in. So let's see how all in he is when he gets enlightened by the Highest. Okay. Let's see how all in he is after that moment, because now he is on the radar with the Highest. He's like, oh, I'm ready to be enlightened. He's like, you sure? All right, we're going to let you know. So yeah, we're going to see how all in Manny is after that. It's going to be funny.
Exactly. Any final words or any thoughts?
Yes. I always thought, like I said, I always thought that Manny and Lewis weren't going to be that close. I thought they were going to fall out. They eventually were bound to fall out because Manny, he doesn't seem like he's all there with the whole thing with trying to trap Zane into marriage and being with her, and the whole thinking that the Raku was a whole part of why his peen was slit down the middle. So I mean, and Lewis is he's completely not buying the Raku. And so yeah, I just think that it's a matter of time before Manny loses it. And I just can't wait to see what he, when he finds out what enlightening means. So.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, that was pretty much the episode. There wasn't a whole lot going on in this episode, but I do think there was a lot to take away from the episode. I think there were a lot of little nuggets that were dropped that's going to be setting us up for the next episode. What do you have coming up on your channel, Miss Tika?
Okay, so as we already know, Ruthless will be back tomorrow already. It's already about that time. So I'll be giving you guys more Ruthless recaps, as well as I am going to load you guys down with movies that I watch, as well as How Did It End? That's another series that I'm going to be coming up with for you guys. That's pretty much it. Also, more interviews lined up and more roundtables. Enjoying it. Had a great time tonight, EJ. Thank you.
Awesome. Jay, what you got going on, sir?
VayCay Jay of VayCay Jay Media. Family, it was a great day. And I want to give a shout out to Tika for getting Hillary, Deputy Kate on the show with us today. It was definitely fun. So shout out to you and shout out to Hillary as well. You know, I mean, it's super fun. So what do we have coming up? Family, Ruthless recap. You already know I'm going to hit y'all up tomorrow early as possible. So look out for that. Listen, we're coming up on the last episode of Power Book 2 Ghosts. And this Monday, we're going to go live. I'm going to have a full house, full panel. Family, this is going to be the season finale of madness because it's going to be madness after we see episode 10. So definitely look out for that. Also, speaking of power, I just been invited to interview none other than RSJ from Power Book 2 Ghosts. So look out for that interview as well. And then we have more interviews coming up. We got more power coming up. We're going to bring back You Write the Script, but I'm going to flip it. We're going to start on Monday and we're going to flip it up. So look out for more fun on VayCay Jay TV, more interviews, more everything. And also shout out to everybody that watched our new podcast, Handle Your Business. Look out for more entrepreneurs, stars coming to handle your business as well. So that's what's going on, fam. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Nice. That's what's up. That's what's up. And congratulations on getting over 1,000 views on your first podcast. That was amazing. So proud of you.
Appreciate your support. Thank you, family.
Of course. Lakisha, so I know that you have something big coming up. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about it?
Yes, I have Lakeisha Watson's Heart and Mind podcast, where I'm going to talk about life and self-motivation and self-love and learning how to love yourself, and just planning on having real conversations with real good people about, just learning how to love yourself and embrace yourself. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about being on this platform with you guys, talking about my absolute favorite show. I hope to be a part of more of the shows, and I just love you guys. You guys are great, and I enjoy all your platforms. And thank you for letting me be a part of it.
We love you too, Lakisha.
We love you too, Lakisha. Congratulations. I'm ready for the podcast. I'll be listening.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. Ruth,
I'm sorry, I forgot to say that I'm on YouTube and Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Lakeisha_lyric on Instagram, and I'm on YouTube, Lakeisha Watson Heart and Mind podcast. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, you're fine.
Good job.
And the Ruthless TV, what do you have coming up for? I know you got some good stuff going on.
Well, lately it's just been Ruthless because I've been, doing a lot of stage productions and stuff. But right now, it's just going to be Ruthless for now, because that's what's on. I'm going to be doing some deep dives, so y'all watch out for that. Pertaining to Ruthless, everything's going to be Ruthless. So, it's going to be just, y'all may get sick of my videos dropping, but they're going to be good ones. But that's pretty much it. Just Ruthless videos until we can't, because I don't know if this is going to be their final season. So I just want to, get everything I want to say out. So it'll just be more and more Ruthless dropping multiple times a day.
We love all your videos, Ruthless TV.
Yes.
Ruthless TV will never, ever, ever get tired of your videos, okay?
Oh,
Exactly.
And EJ, real quick, I do have one thing real quick, EJ. I promise I won't take too long. The writer's strike, it affects all of us. So I did a video for those of you who are interested in finding out what the writer's strike is all about. I also wanted just to make sure I mentioned that, because our girl Ruthless TV is a writer as well. So I know that it affects everyone in the entertainment industry. So if you guys could please go and check that out, I would greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. And you guys have been great. I'm having so much fun. Like, this is the most fun I've ever had on a panel. I have never been on a panel, so.
Hey, I'm glad. That makes me happy.
Well, and like everybody else said, go ahead.
While you out there on the Raku campus.
Yeah.
Inside joke, guys.
Okay. Yeah, we get it, VayCay Jay. You got inside jokes. I want to be on the inside joke. I'm too nosy. I'm like Officer Kate. I'm nosy too. Shoot, I want to know. But guys, I have coming up. I'm going to be doing Power, of course, which is going to be a recap party for the finale episode. I anticipate to have a lot of people just come through and talk about Power. So I think it's going to be a good time. You never know what's going to happen. Probably going to be a lot of debates going on because we're going to be talking about the entire season. So it should be interesting enough. And then, of course, I'll just be dropping probably some rewatches as we kind of see what's going to happen with, what's going to be coming out, and all that good stuff. But meanwhile, that's what I will be doing. And as everybody else said, it was really good to meet everyone, like to be a part of this family. I love getting up here and talking about this show with you guys. So I appreciate all of you for coming out. And let's just go to the chat real quick so we can go ahead and wrap this up. All right, so we had Scarlett come through. Thank you, Tiffany TV, Candy Love, always appreciative. We had Loves France 24. Shout out to you, Miss Flowers, Lauren. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate you guys so much. Jacqueline. It was a lot of people in the building today, guys. I think we had over 70 something. So it was really good to have everybody come out. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure to type in hashtag replay. Let us know what you thought about the episode. And once again, a special thank you to our guests. Thank you, Tika, for setting everything up. And thank you guys so much. We're about to get up out of here. Until next time, guys. Peace.
Peace.